Here are 12 of the best lead magnets that we've tested that will allow you to turn more of your audience into leads and then into clients. Now, chances are you've created lots of lead magnets. I've tested tons of lead magnets and they all vary with the results that they deliver. But in this video, I'm going to give you my 12 favorite lead magnets that get a super high conversion rate and lead to clients on the back end. So let's get started. Number one, the assessment or quiz. So this is an incredibly powerful lead magnet that helps people transform where they are to where they want to be. It allows you to turn cold leads into warm leads very, very quickly. And you do this through asking questions. So for instance, if you have a fitness trainer, then you could potentially have an assessment. And if you are looking to hire a personal trainer and you land on their website or their LinkedIn profile and they have a quiz or assessment, they get to ask you specific questions about your situation. How much exercise do you do? What do you eat? What's the kind of life balance that you want to have? How happy are you with your current situation right now? They can ask you questions that help inform what plan you might be recommended, to help inform what plan you might want to go on. And actually, it just provides great context for a conversation. People naturally like feedback. They like to understand where they are on a scale. And this is true because in school, this is all we're taught. We're taught to study and take tests, answer questions, and then get a score on the back of it. So it's deeply rooted and ingrained within our psyche that this is the kind of interaction that we're used to from a very young age. And we do seek feedback. I'm sure it's been the case for you in the past that you wanted feedback from your managers or people or clients. You want that constant flow of feedback. We're all in the same situation and we all seek that feedback. You want to know that you're doing well. And you also want to know what areas you can improve on. This is why this assessment works so well, because it's naturally ingrained within our human minds to seek that result. And if that person on the other end tells us and gives us that feedback to say, you scored well in this category, but not in this category, here's what I would do to improve, that we've received something and we feel that we've had some content and some context to be able to improve our lives. And this goes for any industry, not just fitness. It could be a marketing assessment. It could be a finance assessment. Whatever it is that you do, you can ask a series of questions that allow people to go on a journey with you in order to learn more about what you do and then potentially buy from you. So an assessment is a very, very quick way for someone to answer 12 questions or 20 questions or whatever you want to do in order to go down the rabbit hole with you and hopefully buy from you sooner. So check out an assessment. It's very, very powerful. Number two, a webinar. Now, not a typical webinar. The webinars you've probably seen and attended in the past have been very much a sales pitch. I've attended tons of them in the past. That's not the kind of webinar that I think offers massive transformation for your leads. And that's what we were after. We want to make sure that we offer some really good insights and some tools and some techniques in order to improve their situation, regardless of if they buy from you there and then. So when we launch a webinar for SCOREapp, and I've done this across lots of different businesses, the best thing in the world is if you can offer some level of personalization. And what I mean by that is you deliver content on the webinar based on research of your audience. So as an example, you can have people register for your webinar, but before they attend, they have to answer a series of questions. And the series of questions could help dictate what content you present on the webinar. I do this all the time. We ask questions like, what's the biggest problem you're facing right now? Before the webinar, people have to answer that question. We also say to people, how many leads would be transformational in your business? How many leads per month? People have to answer that question in order to attend the webinar. That just means that we've gathered lots of amazing data. So when we create that presentation and those slides, we can actually talk to their goals, their problems, what's holding them back, so that we can make sure that we deliver as much value as possible. It also means that when we make a recommendation on the back of it for a product that they can potentially buy or an offer that they can take us up on, the offer is ultra relevant to how they answered those questions. So don't think that you can just put on a webinar, a blanket webinar, and just pitch your business anymore. The best way to run a webinar as a lead magnet is from that little bit of data gathering at the start of the process so that you can personalize the content and the offer on the back end. You're going to massively increase your conversions into sales if you do it this way. Number three is a discussion group. So a discussion group is like a WhatsApp group or a Facebook group. What you can actually do is, if you are at the very early stages of your business and you're wanting to find out more about your audience, you can actually announce that you are launching a discussion group, and maybe it's a private group here or there, but the fact is you own that group. So if you're a public speaking coach and you put out a post on LinkedIn explaining that you've decided to launch a mini group for a small network of people all about public speaking, you're going to be sharing ideas, insights, data, content, all relevant to people who are interested in taking their public speaking to the next level. People can join and opt in for that group so that you can actually own that conversation. You can provide content, insights, and data that's going to support your business. It's incredibly powerful to have conversations with people who have the same goals as you. So if you do this and you create a discussion group, you can actually have a proper landing page. You know, we've got landing pages over at SCOREapp.com that are built for discussion group. That means that people can opt in to receive information about it. Then you can contact them. You can ask key questions as part of signing up for that discussion group. And then when you're in there, you can be sharing news about products and services that you may be thinking about launching. You can have proper conversations, maybe organize Zoom calls amongst a small group of people. The fact is that you need to be having conversations with your audience before you launch your product, or before you spend too much time building that product or service or coaching package, whatever it is that you're thinking of launching. Launch a discussion group as the lead magnet, have some real conversations, share some of your content and your insights, and then you're much more likely to get sales when you eventually launch that product. Number 4 is a waitlist. We've just launched a waitlist for a brand new event at SCOREapp, and we pretty much sold out within 24 hours because of a very specific approach that we took when we announced the event. And we do this over and over and over again, and it's the best way that we found to get sales as quickly as possible when you go to market. So most people, what they do is when they launch a new product or service, they will simply just put a message out and say that the doors are open, come and buy. But what we like to do is make sure that we know we are oversubscribed for availability well before we open the doors. So if you know that you're thinking of launching a product in 2025, whatever it may well be, you can launch a waitlist, set up a really simple landing page and tell people that they can sign up to the waitlist for when the doors open. When the product is released, you'll notify them as long as they sign up to the waitlist, and you'll also ask them a couple of questions. I'm sure you're seeing a theme with these lead magnets. The more that you can get to know your leads, the better that you can present the offer to them. So make sure if you are launching a waitlist or you're launching a product, get that waitlist launched well in advance. Ask some key questions that are going to help you create a powerful product that's going to transform their lives, and then use that data to market to them in the future. Collect insights and questions and concerns and goals from them so that you can interweave those messages within your copy. Because when you launch, you've got far more data to launch successfully if you've got people who have opted in and told you what they want. Far better to launch with a waitlist than it is to launch without. Another powerful way to use a waitlist is if you're fully booked. So if you are not taking on clients right now, and maybe you've got some space opening up in February, March, you can actually have a button on your website that says, I'm not taking on clients right now. Click this button to join the waitlist and I'll notify you the next time a space becomes available. Really powerful for a number of reasons. It shows that you're in high demand. It shows that you don't take on every client who comes through the door. And it also means that people feel a little bit of FOMO because they don't want to miss out. You know, even if they're kind of on the fence about working with you and they've not made a decision yet, the very fact that there is a velvet rope in the way, it makes it incredibly powerful for them when the doors do open. They feel that FOMO, they want to be a client, even if it gets them off the fence in your favor and they still have to wait. It's really, really good to get them to make a decision quicker when you do open the door. That way you don't have lots of people just not really sure if they're going to make a decision. They're not really sure if they're going to buy from you. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. This is one of the most powerful ways for you to get your on the fences to make a decision faster. Number 5 is a strategy session. You probably already do this. You have a conversation with someone before they work with you. Maybe it's a 45-minute block in your diary or a 90-minute strategy session or discovery call. This is the kind of thing that freelancers and agencies do all the time. They have a button on their website and they say book a strategy session with us, and then we can talk to you about working with us. Basically, it's a sales call with some discovery. We've all done it. It might have worked well in the past, but chances are you've probably got people booked in your diary who are not the right fit. And that's the problem. What you don't want is your diary to get completely fully booked with people that don't have enough money to spend, they're not your ideal clients, they're going to cause problems later down the line. You have to be very deliberate about who you want to work with and who you spend time speaking to if they're clearly not the right fit. So what we like to do is to create a simple landing page that says, use this page to book a one-to-one strategy session. And before they get a link to your calendar, they have to answer some questions, such as, what's your budget? When are you hoping to get started? How many employees do you have, so that you can establish what size business they are? These are questions that will help you understand whether or not those people, those leads, are your ideal clients. So what you could do is you could stop people who don't meet a certain criteria from ever booking in your calendar. The other thing you can do is you can allocate certain times to certain people. So you could have a 15-minute call for someone who probably isn't the right fit, but you still want to speak to. You could maybe have a 45-minute call for someone who has ticked off some of those boxes, but maybe not all of them. And then maybe have a 1 hour or 90-minute strategy session with somebody that has ticked all of the boxes. That way, you've got more time to spend with the high quality leads than the low quality leads. That way you can dictate who gets in your calendar and who doesn't. If your time is precious, which I know that it is, because everybody's is, then you need to implement this one-to-one strategy sequence in place so that people that aren't the right fit might only take up 15 minutes, and people that you really want to speak to have got a larger allocation of time, 45 minutes, an hour, 90 minutes, so that you can spend more time with your ideal clients. Number 6 is a survey. And this is an interesting one because surveys sound a bit boring. You know, nobody just wants to fill out a survey. I'm sure you've had phone calls in the past. Would you like to take part in a survey? No, I've got better use for my time. But actually a survey, if you present it effectively enough, can be extremely powerful at getting new leads and sales in your business. For instance, a few years ago, we decided to launch a survey, and the survey was for us to gather some data for our ideal client. But we understood that a survey isn't necessarily the most appealing thing in the world. So we actually said, if you fill out this survey and give us your insight and answer some questions, we're going to give you a free copy of our book. And this means that everyone who fills it out gets something of value. We also did a little prize draw on the back of it, and we said that anyone who fills it out will get a copy of our book, but one person will be selected to win lots of goodies like courses and books and some tickets and things. So there was an incentive there for people to take part, but there was also an incentive for people to pay attention. So we really wanted to get truthful data from people based on the pain points, based on the problems that they were facing, based on their situation, so that we could then go on to create a research report. And it worked really, really well. So we got over 500 leads through that lead magnet, and we did the prize draw and we gave people copies of our book, which again is good for our business because we're able to take that book and give it to 500 new people. So we're happy because our content's out in the world. They're happy because they've received something for free. And again, one of those people went on to win a few £100 worth of goodies. So it's really, really good. The reason that this was such an effective lead magnet is because we were able to turn it into content after it. We were able to present a research report with loads of amazing ideas that people then link to. Various websites link to our article, and then it got picked up with the press as well. So because we took the time to listen to our audience and to create a set of questions that we were able to turn into content, it then got picked up, and we got lots of leads on the back end as well. So it's a really interesting option for a lead magnet that you might not have considered in the past. The best thing about this lead magnet is we actually converted at 83%. So 83 out of 100 people who landed on that landing page filled out the survey and answered those questions. So when you have those extra incentives like a bonus here and there on your landing page, people are much more likely to fill it out and complete it and give you their data. So don't forget about that when you create any of these lead magnets. The added bonus can really make a big difference. Number 7, a video mini course. I absolutely love this lead magnet, and I'll tell you why. A mini course is an extremely powerful way to help people get to know you, like you, and trust you in such a short space of time. So let's say, for instance, that you help people with their finances and they land on your landing page and you say, why not take this free 3-part mini course where I walk through your budgeting, your insurance, your wealth, and your retirement plan. I'm going to give you everything there is to know to help you make better financial decisions in 3 short videos. How valuable is that? I'm sure that's potentially something you could charge money for, but what we're saying is you can actually give this away for free. It doesn't have to be everything that you know about these options. It doesn't have to be everything you know about the topic and the individual subjects in question, but you can actually provide some context, some insights, some information that's going to take someone from A to B. The great thing about this is that it's so valuable and relatively easy to build that you're much more likely to build up that know, like, and trust factor and get sales quicker. So the higher value the lead magnet and the higher value the content, the much more likely people are to make a buying decision sooner and at a higher price point. And that's something to be aware of as well. Out of all of the lead magnets, the easier ones tend to be the ones where you have to do a little bit of extra work to get the sale. The high value ones, things like a webinar or things like a mini course, generally people are prepared to buy from you shortly after consuming that content. So the more work that you put into a mini course up front, the chances are the more people will buy from you sooner and at a higher price point. At SCOREapp.com, we've just launched 3 brand new mini course templates. You don't have any external need for like course building platforms. All you have to do is upload your videos to YouTube or Vimeo and you can just insert them on a free template with SCOREapp.com. Really easy, go and check it out. Number 8 is a challenge. Think about like a 5-day LinkedIn challenge or a 12-day fitness bootcamp challenge. These are really, really popular right now. You could launch a quick Facebook group or a WhatsApp group to help with the challenge, and you can actually just give people a simple set of steps that they can take between 1 and 5 days or 1 and 21 days, depending on what the goal is. But this is used across so many different industries. I see video marketing companies put together a short form video plan for 15 days. I see LinkedIn people do a 5-day LinkedIn challenge to get people more comfortable in posting on LinkedIn. It's incredibly powerful if you are the owner of this challenge and you can use it as a lead magnet. So the way it works is you have a really nice landing page that talks about the challenge, talks about who you've helped, talks about you and the expertise that you have and the authority that you have, and then it enables people to opt in, take part in the challenge, and then you can send them information on how to interact, how to engage with your challenge. Now at the end of the challenge, that's when you can be talking to people about your offer and the ways that people can work with you. It's super straightforward. You get them to opt in on day 1, and day 5, day 7, whenever it is, you get to present your offer and service to them. Now, the best thing in the world and the thing that makes the biggest difference when it comes to turning leads into sales is that transformation, is taking them from A to B to C. And if you allow someone to come on this journey with you, they're much more likely to know you, like you, and trust you. You've helped them achieve a goal, you've helped them overcome their objections and their hurdles, and they're much more likely to take the next step with you. That's what a 5-day challenge or a 10-day challenge is perfect for. So go ahead and think about what you would create as part of your challenge. Number 9, a checklist. Now this could be a PDF checklist, it could be a Google Sheet checklist with the little arrows that you can select once you've completed things, but checklists are not going anywhere. They've been around for a long time and they're not going anywhere soon. A checklist is fantastic because everybody knows that there are areas within certain industries that they know nothing about. Whether it's technical skills, whether it's, you want to move house, we're going to give people a checklist on everything that you need to pack or anything you need to do, and then you could potentially sell something relevant on the back end. If somebody wants to get better at ranking on Google, they could have an SEO checklist that's 200, 300 points deep, and that's extremely valuable. It doesn't have to be that length, but it can be if you want it to be. The more valuable your checklist, the easier it is for you to convert people into sales, but a checklist is really simple to do. So I'm sure there's plenty of things in our business that we can create checklists for. In fact, we created a checklist a couple of years ago for SCOREapp, which was a 21-step launch plan that allowed somebody to launch their lead magnet and get tons of traffic to it. So this is actually something we used in our business and it still works today. Really simple to do. Just spend some time creating that checklist on whatever platform you like, whether it's Google Sheets, a Google Doc, PDF, whatever it is, and you can actually build a landing page really easily and then deliver that checklist afterwards. It's super powerful. Everybody needs a checklist. Everybody forgets things, and it's good for people to have a step-by-step guide. Number 10, a free book. Now this could be a PDF copy of your book. This could be a physical copy. We do both. So the book that you can see on the shelf behind me is Scorecard Marketing. You can request a free copy of that book either via post if you want to wait a few weeks, or if you want the PDF version instantly, you can actually opt in. And actually I'm going to include links within the description here for you to do that if you want it. But the fact is it makes a fantastic lead magnet because it's incredibly valuable. If someone's going to sit there for 3 or 4 hours and read your book, then they're going to feel a certain sense of connection with you. You can include links to your products and services or additional lead magnets within that book. It just improves your authority, it improves your trust within your audience's minds, and it allows you to talk to them on a level that fits within your business agenda. So if you're teaching people something like how to speak on stage, or you're teaching somebody how to run a successful marketing agency, then you could put all of your amazing ideas into a short book. It doesn't have to be a super long book, but you can actually put those ideas into a book, give it away. It makes an incredibly powerful lead magnet, but it also massively increases your authority as a leader in your industry. Another thing that you can do if you're struggling to write a book is head over to bookmagic.ai. They have a tool that will allow you to structure it and create a book in half the time. Super powerful tool, but a book makes an incredibly powerful lead magnet. Whether you're giving away the PDF or a physical book, a book is fantastic at building trust and getting more people to become clients on the back of it. Number 11 is a video sales letter. Now, I don't really like this term. What I really mean is a short video that helps people get from A to B. So for instance, if you are wanting to get fit and healthy and you land on somebody's website and somebody says, I've got a free 10-minute video where I give you some simple exercises that you can do in 10 minutes a day that's going to improve your fitness. Great. That's helpful, that's transformational, and that's extremely valuable because it's in video form. Video form tends to perform great if you're asking someone to make an instant buying decision, but it also is great for asking people to book one-to-one calls, either with your team or with yourself. So a short 10-minute video is kind of a simplified version of a video mini course. It doesn't do as much as a video mini course, but you can get it done fast. You can test to make sure your audience consume video and are happy consuming content via video in order to make improvements to your lead magnet. So this is a simplified way. Rather than create a video mini course, you can actually just create a 10-minute video that educates and entertains them in order to make a buying decision or take the next steps. If people resonate with your video, you might want to think about creating a mini course afterwards, but if you're not sure if your audience are going to resonate with video, then test it out with a short 10-minute video sales letter and then make a relevant offer on the back end. And last but not least, a registration of interest form. So this is a form that you can add to your website and you can promote on your social media accounts. If you don't have any availability right now, or you're very selective about the clients you want to work with, you can have a registration of interest form on your website that allows people to fill it out and let you know if they're interested in working with you at some point. So it's a little bit like a wait list, but a wait list is if you are thinking of launching something in the future and you want to get a wait list and fill your wait list, then that's what you'd use a wait list for. A registration of interest is for something that you already do right now, but you just might not have any availability. It's good for you to gauge who's interested in working with you, and then potentially, if they're the right fit, you can reach out and you can contact them and maybe jump on a call. They're giving you that nudge to say, when the doors open, when you have availability, I'm interested in having a conversation. It's extremely powerful if you work with very few clients, but on a high value client relationship. So if you charge a high fee for your services, then you could have a registration of interest form that you then use to reach out to those people one-to-one. So there you have it, 12 of the best lead magnets that we've used to get over 100,000 leads into our business. We've used all of these lead magnets at various stages. We have multiple lead magnets running at the same time right now. So let me know below, which ones have you tried in the past? Which ones are you considering launching in the future? I'd love to know, so let me know in the comments below. Also, if you found this helpful, please click like and subscribe and we can notify you the next time we release a video. The great thing is that all of these lead magnets can be built using SCOREapp.com. you can head over to SCOREapp.com, set up a free account, pick any of the templates that we've created specifically for these lead magnets, and start getting more leads into your business. It's the best way to get clients on the back of it as well.